Hello and welcome to Weird Around Illinois. Today we're going to talk about a really recent incident involving a possible UAP. So let's talk about it and let's get weird. So on March 19th of 2025 at approximately 9 p.m. there was a blackout in Zion, Illinois. At least one witness, who happens to be a friend of the program, reported strange lights in the sky. So that sparked our investigation.
Yeah. So, for description of the incident, the power went out for about 2 hours due to a blown transformer. The witness apparently saw 20 plus lights in the sky. She described it as possibly drones. It was on the fourth story of where she was at, and she saw it out the window. The lights were on for several seconds, and she said it was lighting up the sky. Now, I don't know if it was actually in the sky or if it was like below and she saw it. I'm not exactly clear on that.
She didn't seem exactly clear on that, because when she first described it, it sounded like the lights were above. Then when we pressed her further on it, it sounded like they were level. And then later when we talked to her, she said some of them may have even been below the fourth story.
Right.
Yeah, they seemed like they were kind of erratically placed. I mean, the individual that we're talking about, I wouldn't say that, like, it's a guaranteed, like, from a random person's perspective, you can't just assume this person's credible, but they're not one to lie about something just so small and, like, minimal. I mean, it's not like it changed their life forever. It's just like, oh yeah, I saw this. It was kind of just that case. It wouldn't be something worth lying about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, eventually the power came back on, and then she said the lights completely disappeared.
The other thing we should probably mention is that she did describe the lights as moving.
Yeah.
Not. I don't think they were making drastic movements, but they were moving in some way. I wonder if that could have included moving up and down, which might explain the height difference.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't know what exactly she saw there, but she kind of made it seem like a slow movements,
Mm-hmm.
kind of just casually adjusting.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, this is someone we were talking to anyway, and they just kind of brought this up as an aside, and it wasn't to get it on the program. They didn't really intend for us to do a podcast on this. It was just more of a, hey, you won't believe this weird thing that happened last night. And then we were like, hey, weird thing? That's our thing.
Yeah.
So it did cause us to launch into an investigation, and we did ask around a little bit, other people in the building. There were a few people who were there for the blackout. Nobody reported seeing the lights. One person in the building offered a possible explanation for the lights. They said it was so dark in that area that there were cars on a nearby road driving by, and they thought it could have been reflections of the headlights of those moving cars. Now, I've got a couple issues with that. I think if they were moving that fast, she would have told us they were moving that fast.
Yeah.
I think the speed limit is over 40 miles an hour there.
And she told us it definitely wasn't that. I assume she's seen like reflections and stuff from there before, and that was obviously nothing that she's seen there before.
Right. Yeah, and just to backtrack a bit, this is a very credible witness. I mean, she's not going to make stuff up. She has no reason to make stuff up, and we trust her implicitly. The only thing that is worth mentioning is this did happen fairly late at night, and I think she did just wake up from a sound sleep before it happened. So she did admit the possibility that, maybe she wasn't quite seeing things right. Maybe it was like that case of half awake, half asleep. But again, she described everything so vividly, everything from trying to find the batteries or trying to get her flashlight to work and finding out the batteries weren't working right, to the sudden jolt when the lights came back on. It seemed to me like she was alert and oriented when she saw all this.
Yeah, and there are a lot of components that kind of really push towards this being really irregular, not just some coincidence.
Yeah. Now, I will say that she had a couple more days to think about this, and we talked to her again, and she had talked to some of the other people in that building, and they had pretty much convinced her that what she saw was the lights of the generator. I've got issues with that too.
Me too.
Yeah. I don't know if by the lights of the generator they mean like the emergency lights that are powered by the generator, because the generator itself is in a basement. I mean, nobody's going to see the red light on the generator. The emergency lights, the person in charge of the building who I spoke to that day was very, very clear about the fact that the emergency lights did not affect the street lights outside. There was emergency power on the first floor only, and just the interior lights. So I can't imagine what the generator emergency lights would have shown out there that would have looked like what she described.
Yeah, and even if it were to be the red lights, I literally asked her what color were those lights they were witnessing, and she said it wasn't red by any means. It was more, the casual light, just white.
Yeah, so she may be willing to dismiss this incident, but we're not.
Yeah.
I think there may have been something weird there, and this place, Zion, it's kind of an area of high strangeness anyway. It's had UFO sightings before, and this particular location is really, really close to Lake Michigan, which has more than its fair share of strange sightings as well. So I guess I'd like to put it out there to you, any of our listeners who were in Zion, Illinois between like 10 and 11:30 on March 19th of 2025, please let us know if you saw anything and could help us literally shed some light on this. I don't know, for now, where are you guys at?
Well, I thought about the possibility of it possibly being because the transformer blew up, like she just saw lights in the sky from that transformer. Because I read reports that other people actually did see like lights in the sky when it blew up. But it wasn't actually like dots or anything that they saw in the sky. It was just one big flash, and it was done. And that's not what she saw, apparently.
And the transformer probably blew closer to 9 o'clock. And this was closer to 11 o'clock, right before the power came back on.
Yeah, for me, I can't imagine there to be multiple lights moving, like actually traveling slowly, and that just to be something related to the transformer blowing up. It seems kind of unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I am keeping an open mind to a logical explanation for this.
Yeah.
But nothing that's been offered to me so far seems like a believable, logical explanation.
Yeah, to be honest, all of these don't align fully. There's not a confirmed explanation to this yet. There's just a lot.
And I guess that's the definition of an unidentified aerial phenomenon.
Yeah, so I guess that would be a safer guess.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'd love to hear your thoughts on it. And as I mentioned, if you actually saw this incident yourselves, we would love to hear your take on it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing.